Go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Hallmark Channel. I'm Chris.
I'm Laura.
And we are back this week to review The 9 Lives of Christmas, which was a 2014 movie starring Brandon Routh or Routh. Is it Brandon Routh or Routh?
I always say Ruth, but
well, if you change the R to an M, it would be mouth, wouldn't it? So
yeah, but
it is. I don't know.
I
Anyways,
mean, take a look at Tyler Hoechlin's last name. Like it's pronounced Hoechlin, but it looks like it's Hoechlin.
oh,
So who
okay.
knows how last names are pronounced?
All right. So Brandon Routh of Superman fame, and Kimberly Sustad as the two romantic leads. And her name is Marilee White, spelled Marilee.
Oh, the way you said it just now made me realize that it's Christmas related.
Marilee, yeah.
Like Merrily.
Yep.
Oh no.
I thought it was
That's a stretch.
I thought it was not her name. I thought it was a joke because, as we'll talk about later, when she sort of fakes the story about her boyfriend, she goes, "Oh, he calls me Marilee," and I was like, "Oh, it's a fake name." But
yeah, no, that's her name.
Her parents' named her Marilee,
which I thought it was like Marylee, or Marley, like Marilee. I mean, the way they pronounced it in the movie made it sound like it was just like a normal name. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But then the way you just pronounced it, though, like, oh no, that's supposed to be a Christmas word.
Yep, and it's Marilee White. Isn't that a Christmas song? Something Marilee and White. Isn't that a dun 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 dun?
The only thing I can think of is Merrily through the snow. Yeah. Christmas bells are ringing, right? That's all I can think of.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I also think of Merrily Gently Down the Stream or whatever. But that's not a Christmas song at all.
No, that's not. No.
All right. Before we jump into the 9 Lives of Christmas, do you have a question for me?
I do.
All right. What do we got?
Chris.
Yes.
Did you know mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a live mistletoe. Did they grow as bushes?
I think it's a bush. Yeah.
It's a bush?
I think it is bush, yeah. I will point out, they did not use real mistletoe in this movie. They didn't even use real fake mistletoe, all right? Mistletoe berries are white. And what they used mistletoe berries are white. Huh. And what they used in the movie were red berries, so it was clearly some holly thing. So it's like, I don't even know what you're doing here. Like, it's clearly not mistletoe.
When we watched Signed, Sealed, and Delivered, I feel like they also used red berries.
Yeah, she pointed it out, though, that
Oh, did she? Oh, okay.
Wait, was it Signed, Sealed, or wait? Because there was the other one, the Spruces and the Pines, where he's like, "Oh, is this mistletoe?" And she's like, "Mistletoe berries are white. Those are red. It's holly." Like, oh, because he doesn't know anything about Christmas, which is like, okay.
Where did the whole kissing under the mistletoe, where did the mistletoe means you have to kiss somebody? Where does that come from?
So it's based on an old Norse myth where Frigga or Frigg, she was like a goddess, and her son Balder was beloved by all, and so she made everyone take an oath that they would do no harm to him. So she went to every plant in the kingdom and asked them to pledge an oath that they would never harm him, like stone and rock and every plant and everything like that. And then she had everyone come to the Great Hall and come before Balder and test their metal, test it. And so nothing could harm Balder, except that Loki realized that she skipped over mistletoe because it's such a tiny little insignificant plant. And mistletoe killed Balder. Huh. And so Frigg was obviously heartbroken and upset. So now when we pass under mistletoe, we kiss to signify we mean no ill will and we mean no harm.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder.
If I'm right. I could be wrong, but
You said it very
pretty
convincing.
sure. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm 99% sure that that's roughly how the story goes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it. Um, yeah. And now people have. I saw some tweet the other day, um, for somebody talking about a mistletoe belt buckle.
Oh
What
my
do you think
God.
about that? Now it's
You
just
know,
turned into something to try to get people to hook up with you at parties.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so my main question was actually going to be, do you have like an awkward mistletoe story?
No, I have
I feel
not
like
encountered
everyone
mistletoe.
does.
I've never. I just feel like that would suck the romance out of the moment to hold like mistletoe above my head and be like, "Hey, look where we are." Like I
Yeah,
feel like that
right.
would almost justify her walking out.
It is a
You know?
cheesy move. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
My grandmother used to hang it from the hallway light right in the entranceway to her house. So when we would come in for Christmas, mistletoe would be hanging there, and people would greet each other and give each other kisses on the cheek, and the married couples would be a little bit more passionate about it. And
sure.
it was definitely something that like we made a point of doing when we left the house. It wasn't always so much a thing when we came in to Christmas morning. It was more like on our way out we would
Okay.
kiss under the mistletoe, and it was just cute and fun.
Well, that's very endearing, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's acceptable in like a traditional, old like, grandparent type home or something. And I feel like that's a cute little tradition. But if I went over to like, I don't know, some guy's house that I was just seeing and like
Mistletoe above every doorway. You're walking
it'd be
like there's
like,
landmines.
okay, like you don't have to try that hard.
No matter where you walk, you're gonna have to make out with me. Them's the rules of mistletoe.
Right. And then
Which,
there's this
oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. You
People seem to be powerless to mistletoe in Hallmark movies. If,
exactly what I was gonna
if
say.
yeah, if they're under it, they're a kissing.
You
That's it.
gotta kiss. It's the rules.
Oh man.
Which is it's a cute way to like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an excuse, right? Like it's like you're just using it as an excuse, like, oh well, I have to kiss you under the mistletoe.
Yep.
But it's really like, yeah, you're just using that as the excuse to like
For sure.
actually lean in and fortify yourself and actually make that move.
Sure. Sure. I wonder what the like, that Michael Jordan shot, you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. Like, I wonder what the success rate is of asking someone who you're not romantically involved in to kiss under the mistletoe.
That's interesting. I think it depends on your relationship with that person and who they are, right?
Hmm. That's got to be a Hallmark movie, right? Like One Mistletoe Bush.
A
That
mistletoe mistake.
Mistletoe Mistake. Ooh.
Ah,
Like you turn and it's like she thinks it's the guy that she wants to be with, but she kisses the wrong guy, and it creates some sort of like magic where now she's stuck to him,
yes.
romantically. Mistletoe Mistake.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But it turns out that he was the right one for her all
Of
along
course.
anyway.
Yes, yes, yes. That's it. That's right. She wanted to
Why
be
do we
with
keep saying the good ideas? We gotta
Mistletoe
save these and
Mistake.
write them down.
What was the other one we had? Well, that one was darker. Wasn't it like a parallel Christmas universe where you just got like trapped in there and then you slowly
Yeah.
became like a robot person?
Yep.
The zombie.
You only had like NPC lines.
Yes.
That would be
Hey,
a
what are
great
you
horror
doing
movie.
here? What's that?
People just like randomly, it would be like a great horror movie. People just randomly like with cookies and like they're repeating the same movement.
Yes.
Like cookie, cookie, cookie. Like, people just go slowly insane. Ah,
That'd be a fun horror movie to make.
yeah,
Like a
yeah.
parody of Hallmark movies. I think what was the one we watched that was a parody of Hallmark movies? We watched one that was sort of a parody, and it was
Yeah.
um
Like two
a
movies ago
Christmas
we
story,
watched
a
it.
Christmas story
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yes.
or a
Yep.
Christmas movie Christmas,
A
right?
Christmas movie Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a
Right.
horror. That was horror. That was just
Yes.
awful. Uh,
All right, let's jump into this opening here. Well, before we get into this, this was made in 2014. Brandon Routh, um, who played Superman. What version of Superman did he do? Was that the one with?
he did like the first remake, right?
Was that the Kevin Spacey one where Kevin
Oh
Spacey played
man.
Lex Luthor? Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was. That was the version that had, yeah, Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. And then,
Interesting. I
yeah,
haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I think that was that the one they tried to make like all dark and dreary, like the Batman movie, or did that one come
Probably.
later?
No one was ready for it. I'm sure Brandon Routh did a great job, but I just no one was ready for a new Superman. I mean, it had been years since Christopher Reeve, right? And we had the
Oh yeah,
cartoons,
geez. Christopher
right?
Reeve was what, the early '90s? He
80s,
stopped doing them, right?
like 80s,
Yeah.
you know? And it just still felt like it was too soon because I don't know, he did such a great job. Those movies were, in my opinion, really great. I
Oh
mean, the
yeah.
first one for sure.
Yeah.
It just to yeah, I think no one was really ready for a new Superman at that time. So it kind of sucks because like I think he probably did a great job, but like I I'm still not ready to watch those movies, you know?
And he was only Superman for one movie, right? And then that was it for him.
Yeah, I think so.
And then
Yeah.
that other guy took over, the guy Henry
Henry
Cavill, right?
Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the director of this movie, Mark Jean, um, also directed a movie called Love, Lights, Hanukkah.
I saw that on Hallmark's page. I was trying to find it for us.
Holy shit.
I didn't search YouTube though. I only searched I used that justwatch.com site and it tells you put in a movie title or a TV show or whatever and it tells you all the places you can stream it or buy
Oh,
it or
yeah,
rent
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Nothing I was searching for was showing up. But I want to see this one. Like love
Wow.
whatever Hanukkah. Yeah, I definitely want to see that because it looks like um Ben Savage is in it, right?
Ben Savage is in it. I'm looking at the premise or the summary of it right now. And Mary Lou Henner, who is,
Yes.
isn't Mary Lou Henner an Olympic person? Was she an Olympic figure skater, or am I thinking of somebody? Oh, that's Mary Lou Retton.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so the premise of this one is that as Christina prepares her restaurant for its busiest time of year, she gets her DNA test, revealing that she's Jewish. The discovery leads her to a new family and an unlikely romance over 8 nights.
Sounds adorable.
Yeah. Is it a
Oh,
Hallmark movie?
it is, right?
It is a Hallmark
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I think I saw it on their
Wow.
website. I was going through like their list of like movies
Okay.
to find titles.
Okay, Hallmark branching out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written by
I
Sheila
wonder if this
Rotter.
is one of those ones.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I a long time ago, we had discussed that Hallmark had come out with a couple of Hanukkah ones, but they didn't really get received very well. So I'm wondering if this is a newer one or if this is one of those ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
good question.
What's the year on that?
Hang on. I can tell you in 1 second. So it was 2020 was the Hanukkah one.
Hey, it might be good.
It might be good. Maybe we got to try that one out next.
I think so.
Love, Lights, Hanukkah. And then they followed that up with Ships in the Night, a Martha's Vineyard mystery. Ooh.
Ooh. I love that they
So
have like a whole mystery line of movies. Hallmark has like a whole subcategory of mystery
how
movies, which is
mysterious
like,
could they possibly be?
right. It's certainly no Sherlock level, I'm sure.
Oh, hey, check this out. A little bit of trivia before we start the movie, before we start talking about this movie. Although no word from the production, this is from IMDb, although no word from the production that this was done on purpose, there are many subtle clues and double entendre references in the movie that would imply blank. What do you think? Although no word from the production that this was done on purpose, there are many subtle clues and double entendre references in this movie that would imply blank. Any guesses? All right, ready?
Yeah.
That would imply that Zachary really is Superman. Brandon
Shut
Routh
up.
played both roles. Yeah. Here are some of the subtle clues and double
Wait,
entendres that make
there was a
Zachary.
moment that I did have where I was like, this is Superman.
Well,
Forgot what it was though.
so they can neither confirm or deny this, but here are the list of moments.
Okay.
There's a camera angle that makes it appear that he has a cape floating about him when he's scrutinizing the paint on the wall. I guess that's when they're like they talk about the different shades of white.
Yeah.
He unzips at the end as he decidedly walks toward the camera. I don't remember him doing that.
Yes. Yep. That was the moment. That was the moment because Carlos laughed at it and I was like, yeah, they know what they're doing.
Mistletoe is his kryptonite. He
That's a
gives
stretch.
otherworldly stares as the camera closes in on his eyes.
That's just acting.
Yeah. He rushes to save Marilee from the shopping cart careening her way.
A little bit. Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
Marilee continually tells him that he's a hero, referring to him being a fireman. And when he says that when someone says he flips houses and is also a firefighter, and they're like, wow, what else do you do? And he goes, well, I'm not all that I seem.
Okay.
So
think
those are the subtle clues and double entendres.
I think it's just the moment where he's like taking his jacket because it's very like Superman, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it was just that one moment, but okay.
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 So we start the movie with a shot of a cat walking around, and I thought for sure that was going to be our superstitious element, that we were going to follow either the 9 lives of a cat or we were going to follow the 9 lives of a person as they go through different Christmases, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, this is not this title does not describe anything about this movie except except cats.
No. It's not even that someone gets multiple chances at something either. Like
no.
They just did it because there was a cat in the movie.
Yeah. They were like, well, this is a cat. So, kitty cat Christmas? No, that's stupid. 9 Lives of Christmas. There we go.
What about Meowie Christmas?
Get out of here, Paul. It's a terrible idea.
Meowie Christmas?
I do love
Christmas?
Perfect Christmas. How
yeah.
cute.
I
was so excited when you found this one because I was like, cats! I'm like, kitties! Absolutely. I've got like cat ears like sitting right there too. Like I've got a whole Catwoman shelf.
I see the little cat thing in the background.
I got my cat lamp.
Cat lamp?
The batteries have died.
Oh.
But unfortunately. Well, I had it on earlier and it burnt out.
You would get along very well with Zachary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get along with Brendan Routh any day of the week.
Oh, well.
Wait, what was that text you sent me?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we were just discussing that. We both sort of had crushes on the leads. And we decided that without talking to them, that Laura can take Brandon and I will take Marilee.
Yeah.
And they have no say in this, but
no,
it is what it is. So sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Brandon, but you're gonna come spend a weekend. I'll explain it to Carlos. He'll totally understand. It's Brendan Routh. How does he not understand?
Tied up to a chair. It's Brandon Routh. He's like, where am I? So he is a hunk firefighter doing a photo shoot while he is on duty.
Yeah,
that was an odd time to schedule a photo shoot.
That was unrealistic, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's doing his pose, so they're making a firefighter calendar, and they have him as their main guy
because they have one hot firefighter.
Yes, I know.
The other guys are not too. Although the fire chief he's attractive in a silver fox kind of way, but not like super silver foxy. He's just he's nice.
Yeah, he's not hopping on any calendars though.
No.
So we meet Zach, and then we meet Marilee, and she is falling asleep in an animal biology lecture.
Yeah.
She is just overworked, and we know that. We could have figured that out by the fact that she's falling asleep in the science lecture, but no, 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 no.
No.
Her best friend Exposition says, you need some balance in your life. All you do is work and study. You have to make time to let loose. So there it is.
Yep. I found that pretty realistic though, because one of my best friends, she when we were in school, she had like 5 different jobs, and they weren't all full time. There were a lot of part time stuff, but she had like 5 different jobs, and she was studying full time, and she still managed to have like a social life. And it was exhausting to think about her schedule. Like,
Sure.
what do you mean you've got work in the morning and then you've got classes for hours and then you're gonna go hang out at a club? What? How?
Oh no, I totally agree that that could be totally true. It's just so funny how they always just lay it out so specifically.
Yeah,
You seem
yeah,
so overwhelmed because all you do is study for your degree in animal science, which you're going to open your own veterinary hospital because you want it. Like it's always like this list of stuff,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
like,
complete with the whole, you need to get like a mani pedi or something.
oh yes, yes, yes. And you need to sign up for justdesserts.com.
I love the idea of this dating site.
It is actually a good idea for it. I was like, at first I was like, ah, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this now? You show up and bring pastries and just hang out with
Yeah.
people?
And it's a whole mixer, like it's a
Yeah, it's like a
whole
mixer.
group. Yeah, I kind of liked that.
Yeah, I wrote dating site that involves pastry.
Which she immediately points out the downside to, though, where she hasn't had like her friend is the one who's using this website.
Yes.
So she said she's gone on like to 6 mixer, or she's gone to a bunch of mixers, has no dates, and has gained 6 pounds.
Sure.
Is this really the best thing?
Yeah, that's true, I guess. If you just show up and eat
Yeah.
desserts all the time with no take home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a flaw that they're going to have to work out. Maybe they have other things in there too. Maybe like 1 week is just like a crudité plate. So,
Yeah, that would be good.
so then we meet Ambrose, who's I guess just as big of a character in this story. Ambrose is a stray cat that Zach finds at the firehouse after being chased by a dog, right?
He finds it at his house.
Or he finds it at his house. I thought he found it at the
His house.
firehouse and then it followed him home or something.
No, it's
No.
at his house. He just takes it off of like a pallet of some stuff that, because this house he's fixing up.
That's right.
So he's takes the cat off of this pile of stuff because it was being barked at by a dog, and then puts it on the sidewalk and says, "Go."
Go.
And then opens his door, and the cat just walks right in.
Yep. And he tries somewhat, I guess, to negotiate with it. He's just like, all right, you can come in and hang out for a little bit, just not on that. And then the cat hops up on the chair. Yeah. He goes, all right, I guess I'll sit with you. And then he's like, well, then you're leaving. And then, of course, the cat jumps onto his bed and he's like, all right.
Which was like a little silly, but at the same time,
Sure.
This definitely happens to cats when they're let outside. They have whole lives that you know nothing about. My coworker Pat, his cat had went to like a whole bunch of other houses, but mainly his neighbor's house. So he and his family, they would forget, like, or they wouldn't tell each other who fed the cat, and the cat would act like it was still hungry and still not being fed. So the parents would feed the cat early in the morning, and then his sister would feed the cat early in the morning, after the parents had gone. And then he would feed the cat after his sister had gone, because he's like, well, I don't know, I guess you didn't eat today because your bowl looks empty, so all right, I'll feed you. So this cat would get like 3 breakfasts in the morning, and then they'd let the cat out for the day. The cat would go to the neighbor's house, and the neighbors were feeding the cat.
Holy shit.
And this cat did not have a weight issue.
Oh, really?
No.
Wow.
I was like, how? And they're like, because this cat spends all day outside hunting. So on top of it, she was eating like birds and stuff. And like leaving the little beaks in the yard. Like, how?
I wonder how that cat didn't gain weight.
I know. She was very active, apparently. So cats are very slick like that. They will just like barge into your house and be like, I live here now for this week or whatever.
Yeah. And that seems to be what happened in this movie. So Zach is with Ambrose now.
Yeah.
And then we find out again another piece of exposition about Zach at the firehouse the next day. We find out that he has a magical revolving door of women, but he's not interested in commitment. And they think that they are going to be the one who's going to change him. And his chief suggests that he believe in being happy right now, not ever after. Oh no, he says he believes in being happy right now, not happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Brandon Routh. I can't blame him. Like, yeah, he's got women throwing themselves. He's a very handsome man.
He is a handsome man with an odd haircut. Did you not find he looks like he has Lego person hair? You know, like how you just like stick the hair on top of the head?
Yeah, but it also looks very
odd.
thick and like you can just really like grab it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a good thing.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Hang on, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna yeah. So Brandon Routh. He's single and no one's gonna hold him down. He is his own man. He's
playing
just
the field.
What's that?
He's playing the field.
He's playing the field with Bree. Is that the name of his girlfriend?
Sure, let's say it is.
And Bree is a big shit, apparently. She is a supermodel who is going to inherit a privately owned pet store.
Yep.
Because, yeah, she's always like, my dad. And I'm like, wonder what her dad does. And then I'm like, wait, he runs a pet store?
He owns
He's a manager at a pet store?
Yeah. No, he owns it. So,
oh, he owns it.
Yeah,
okay.
He owns it. Yeah.
But that, I mean, that's usually in these movies, if someone's going to threaten my dad, it's like, they have a hedge fund something or other. They're the CEO of a blah, blah, blah. It's like,
yeah.
But so
these maybe they're doing really good business.
What's that?
Maybe they're doing really good business.
Maybe they do. My next note is Jesus Christ at the size of that ice cream. So we're at the supermarket here, and so Mara Lee gets the what? Do you remember what the name of the ice cream was?
Yes, Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus ice cream, and she has a little pint, and then she thinks better of it and puts it back and dumps a huge, like a massive. It's a bucket-sized tub of ice cream.
She goes back for like the next size up, and then puts it back, and then goes for the next size up and puts it back, and then gets this.
I mean, it is humongous.
It is so big. I don't have space in my freezer for that.
No. So then she bumps into Brandon Routh, or I'm going to just call him Zach. I keep calling him by his full first and last name. I don't know why.
Zach.
She bumps into Zach at the grocery store, and she makes a comment to him about something, right? She comes up and she's like, oh, no, you don't want to get that. Oh, it's cat food.
Yeah, because he's like staring blankly at this wall of cat food. He has no idea what he's doing.
Yes. So she helps him out, and then he goes, you having a party? And she goes, what? And he goes, all that ice cream. You having a party? Oh, and then they have their little awkward tension moment. And she goes, was it at this point he says he's painting his house?
She like points out because he's got paint all over his hands. So she's like pointing out like, oh, is it eggshell or pearl?
Or pearl, or what was the other one?
Ecru.
Like, ecru, that's it.
Yeah.
And then she goes, yeah, no, ecru is a totally different shade of white. It's creamier, warmer, like your eyes, for instance. Did I say that out loud? I don't think real people do that.
No.
I have never been talking to someone and been like, and let something like that slip. Especially not that slowly.
If I let it slip, I don't think I've actually let something slip. But if I've said something and then tried to play it off, I just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of joke it off or whatever.
Yeah, like, you make jokes, or you're just like, yeah, like we could be boyfriend and girl. Like you make jokes.
Right.
I've never once like said something so slowly and been like, oh, did I just say? Yeah, never.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and not that slowly too, right? Like if you do let something come out, it's a sarcastic like it's usually sarcastic,
Yes.
right? Like it's usually like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then you like freak out that you said it out. Oh my God, I can't believe I said it, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, it's never something slow, like your eyes.
Yes. And then she makes
Oh.
that mistake later too, and we'll talk about that.
Mm.
Um, so I mean, he does have quite the following of females in this town.
Yes, these are the appropriate reactions to this actor.
Like, uh, he walks out of the supermarket and girls are like stopping in their path and being like, I mean, Jesus. And this is
Yeah.
when he saves her from the supermarket cart that has
Her
gone astray.
Yeah, I think her cart just starts going off and it's gonna
Yes.
go hit another car.
Oh, right, right,
So
right.
he just chases after it and she thinks he's running towards her,
Yeah.
but
She
then
gets
he
all
runs
excited
right past her.
right past her.
And she was like, oh God. Also an appropriate reaction. I
Sure.
would be mortified. Because she's like, hi.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, I noticed they name dropped that we get a quick little scene with Brie here. And she name drops Vogue and Gucci.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know
Girls like
like
some serious shit.
I didn't know Hallmark because usually they make up fake names so they don't have to mention real companies,
Oh.
like, but
Does
yeah,
Hallmark have a thing against Vogue and Gucci?
I don't
Or
know.
do they like them?
I don't know.
Hmm.
But didn't they also mention Facebook and LinkedIn in this movie too? Weren't they looking at
They
somebody's
did, yeah.
like
Yeah.
online and they were like, no
Because he's
Facebook?
trying to find her. No
Right.
Facebook, no LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because usually like
They got that Hallmark money, man. They could do whatever they want. They
maybe,
could say whatever they want.
maybe, I guess. Um, and then we get the scene where she does the George Glass scene from the Brady Bunch, basically. Yes, I have a boyfriend. His name is
Uh,
George Glass.
yeah.
um, she's out to dinner at a fancy restaurant with her sister and her sister's husband. This is
Yes.
Marilee, and they
Mhm.
treat her like absolute dog shit at this restaurant.
They do. I liked that maitre d'. What
Oh,
an
did you?
ass. What an ass.
Oh,
I liked that I was laughing at him. I mean,
yes.
come on, he's like taking their coats or whatever, and he like the sister clearly goes there a lot. So he's like, hey, I saw you on TV again, blah blah
Yep.
blah. And then he turns to Marilee and he's like, can I take your puffy coat?
Oh, he is disgusted at this puffy coat.
It's just so ridiculous. Because like in Fairfield County, like all the rich snooty bitches wear puffy coats.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like, where is this movie taking place that a puffy coat is that bad?
Oh, he is like appalled.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have that exact quote written down. Can I take your puffy coat?
It's the best.
Have you ever been treated like garbage by a maitre d' before at a restaurant?
No, because have I?
I don't think I
Have
ever have
I?
because I think that's their job to be like appeasing
Yeah.
you.
Mainly because if I feel insecure in a restaurant that's a little too, that if I feel like this restaurant might be a little too fancy for me, I just walk in with a lot of confidence
Yeah.
because fuck you don't know who I am. um but yeah, I've definitely been with people who have felt insecure in a restaurant and felt like they were
Oh,
being,
sure.
you know, ostracized away. I'm like, yeah, it's because your attitude. Like you just have to act like you belong and you're fine.
I so I love food,
Mm.
and I worked a summer job maybe like I don't know now, maybe 6, 7 years ago, and I saved up money to go to a Michelin starred restaurant in New York
Ooh.
City, and it's a place called La Bernardin, and I went, and I remember sitting down and like I looked at my hands and my hands were like shaky. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the protocol is. Like I felt like such imposter syndrome. Like
Oh
I,
no.
I shouldn't be here. This feels weird. Like they're gonna smell me out and be like, you don't belong. Like it was. But after a while, I settled down and felt fine. But it was The whole experience was so bizarre. Like, I remember they left a pitcher of water on the table, and I went to go grab it to fill up my empty water glass, and I felt a hand on my hand, and he's like, no, 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 like, you don't do that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then they had these little trays of butter for your bread, and anytime you dipped into the butter, they would come take that away and put a perfectly flat butter in front of you. It was bonkers.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, the theater of it alone was like,
They're so attentive.
yeah. And the whole
Yeah.
thing just like ran like clockwork. Like, it was just, you never were like, where'd my waiter go? It was never that. They were always like,
Yeah.
it was fantastic. It was
Oh, it
fantastic.
sounds it like,
Yes.
oh man.
I mean, yeah, it was totally worth doing that summer work to go, because it's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like,
Oh
I'm not going to be going there every weekend, but
no, you make that a treat. You make that
oh
special
yeah.
thing. Like, and then you've checked that off of your list
Yep.
of like, I did that.
Yep. And I did not wear a puffy coat there.
No,
No.
because you don't want them to look at you like this guy did.
Yes, definitely not.
and say the words puffy coat as if he was saying the most atrocious thing in the world.
Oh, yeah. So
He
no
was like
puffy.
physically pained saying the words
And
puffy
he
coat.
took it like this, like it was dirty. So,
Dick.
and it's weird because they weren't playing up the whole classism thing. Like, in some movies it's like the rich guy and the not so
Yeah,
rich girl, or vice versa.
right.
But they weren't playing that up, which seemed weird to go there. But anyways, so she's at this fancy
Yeah.
restaurant, and she makes up, her sister's asking her if she's in a relationship, and she lies, and she gives a very weird lie, because she says she's dating a guy, and when asked what his name is, do you remember what her response is?
I just call him Brown Eyes.
That's a very weird like, have you ever said, like, when you first introduced Carlos to people and you're like, hey, I'm seeing somebody, and they're like, who? You weren't like, well, I call him this and he calls me this. It's like, well,
No.
his name's Carlos and he blah 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 blah.
Right, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just so bizarre. I mean, I get that she's lying, and that's supposed to be the point, that she's making up a bad lie.
Right.
But this
Because
is her,
she's trying to like hide the truth. You get the idea that like maybe she's a bad liar, so she's like telling the truth. She's omitting certain facts, but she's still telling the truth.
yeah.
Like she did call him brown eyes. She did say brown eyes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think when they had the thing in the supermarket, did she like whisper to herself, okay, bye brown eyes? Like,
No, that was at the because he's at the same restaurant at the same time. Remember?
okay.
He's
Oh,
there
yes,
with,
yes.
he's there with
Okay.
his ditzy
Okay.
girlfriend and their
Okay.
friends, right?
Yeah.
And they're giving him that patronizing, like, you're a hero and I admire you. I want you to know that. That whole speech.
Yeah.
And he goes out onto the, I guess, back patio, and she's out there too, and they see each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when he walks away, she goes, bye, brown eyes. And then he looks at her and she goes, I said that out loud, didn't I?
Oh God, she's got a problem.
Yeah. So yeah, I have that down. I call him Brown Eyes and he calls me Marilee. Oh, and then she goes, could this night get any more embarrassing? And then they come out with a cake and
Yeah,
and do not sing happy birthday to her.
they do, but it's an Italian.
Oh, it's in Italian.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you can't, because happy birthday is not fair use. So
Is it not?
it's not.
Doesn't
No,
Michael
it's like
Jackson own that or something? Is it someone weird who owns the rights to that song?
it's just the person who I don't remember. I don't think it's like a famous person, but it's the person who owns it. But the reason why it's got like a copyright on it and like you have to pay to use it is I forget the reason why, but the money actually goes to a really good cause.
Oh, really?
And I forget what cause it is. But yeah, it's like there was something with the estate and they charge now. So like that's why restaurants can't use it. They have to all come up with like their own weird way of singing happy birthday to a person. Like that's why they all have like that weird song.
Yeah.
And like you can sing it freely as a person in your private home or like at your party or whatever, but like in a establishment or like in a movie you can't unless you pay the rights to it.
That's interesting. I never knew that. I had always was under the assumption that somehow Michael Jackson's estate snagged the rights to that song, but maybe it was another song that he snagged the rights to.
He got the rights to the Beatles
He got the rights
songs.
to the Beatles songs, yeah, and then they
Yeah,
got those back, or Paul
right.
McCartney got them back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's Michael Jackson that owns Happy Birthday. I think it's somebody else.
huh. Well, either way,
Moving on.
Marilee is back at home talking to her cat,
Yeah.
and she tells him everything. Or is it the cat a boy or a girl?
The cat's a girl.
Cat's a girl. And
Queenie.
what's the cat's name? Queenie. That's right, Queenie.
Yeah.
And she basically just runs down the last 10 minutes of the movie. She's like, I met a guy at a supermarket, and he has brown eyes, and he's a firefighter, but he has a girlfriend, and I don't know if I want to settle down with some. It's just, she goes through it. She basically just, for those who may have missed the last 35 minutes, here's what's going on.
Exposition to a cat. That's new.
Yeah.
Way to go, Hallmark. You're doing it.
And I guess maybe that's the reason why this movie felt so slow, because it really did feel like nothing was really happening for a while. It was just the rehash of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Blair is the name of the girlfriend's name, not Bree. Blair. Yeah, she says to her cat, I met a nice guy who likes animals and who just wants to be a date at a party, or just wants to have a date to a party.
Mm.
And then we
Blair is awful.
Blair is awful. My daughter was watching part of this movie with me, and she goes, she's not very nice. And I said, not very nice.
She's not.
No.
She's awful. She really wants to get rid of that cat. She hates Ambrose.
She is, because she calls him at some point. My sign for phone. She calls him at some point, and she's like, that cat better not be there when I get home. Like, doesn't she sort of like, she's like, one night and that's it. Like, she does not want that cat.
She hates the idea of the cat being there. She hates everything about the fact that he has a cat in the house. And then she keeps mentioning, which I kind of like this part. She keeps mentioning like, well, but what if we wanted to just like jet set away to like Rome for the weekend or whatever? Like, then you're gonna have to find someone to watch it. Like, she keeps referring to it as an it rather than like him. Like, it's a boy cat. You know its name. You know his name. She's like it. And then she's like, oh, constantly like, well, what if we wanted to go randomly to like the Maldives or like, Barbados or whatever, some crap. And she's just like, what if we wanted to like randomly go? And then he straight up is like, do you want to do those things? She's like, no.
But
okay, then why is it a problem that I have the cat? She's awful. She is awful.
Yeah. And
I have met people like that though, who have like, they are so anti-pet.
Oh yeah.
And I don't understand it.
Yeah. My mom is that way. My mom does not like pets.
Are you serious?
Yeah. She just doesn't like them. Well, not that she doesn't like them. She doesn't like the idea of like having to maneuver your life around an animal. Like, she doesn't like the fact that they ruin furniture, or that they shed, or that they, because she always gives me these little like, whenever she's over my place and like Nika, it's always like these little like, I could never have a dog. Like, it's just always these little comments like that, Oh, I could never deal with that vacuuming every day. Just those little things, But,
I don't understand it. I mean, I understand, but that is so not me. And it's not a lot of people I'm friends with.
Sure.
I don't think I'm friends with someone who hates pets. Like,
I mean, there's some people who don't want them, but they may not.
Right. Yeah. And there are some people who I definitely went to school with, and this is such a tangent, but this comes from being in Bridgeport, and so many friends had phobias about dogs. And that, I mean, it's, like in Bridgeport, there was a huge dog problem, as in there's a lot of dog fighting, and there's a lot of dogs who are trained to be guard dogs. And so when you're walking home from school, you're coming across like 5 or 6 different guard dogs who are being, acting vicious towards you. And really, they're just doing what they've been trained to do. It's, it's not the dog's fault. But then you'd bring them over to like another friend's house who had like a very calm kind, nice dog who was just a cute little pet. And they would freak out. They had such bad phobia against it. And then the stray dogs are a problem in Bridgeport too. So like you're walking down the street and like you don't know if that stray dog is a kind stray dog or if
Of
that
course
stray
not.
dog is going to attack you. And yeah, so I've definitely been friends with people who didn't like dogs specifically,
Sure.
and maybe were a little bit better with like cats or like other animals. But
Yeah.
yeah, and like in that situation, I feel like it's totally understandable. But to just to be a Blair, I just
don't be
don't
a Blair.
understand it. Don't
Don't
get
be
it.
a Blair. That's the big takeaway.
Seriously, she's just awful.
She is awful. At this point in the about to say in this point in the store, because that's my next note. I said, wait, Blair's dad owns a local pet food store. Um, and then I said, wait, her name is actually Mara Lee? Because at this point she reveals the name tag and she's like, you know me, Blair. You've called me Kristen or something for the past 2
Yeah,
years, even though my name is Mara Lee. And I was like, what? Her name really is Mara Lee.
her name really is Marilee. Yep.
Yeah. Um, so at this point, we get Zach talking to his firehouse people, and he talks about this girl that he's met, Mary Lee, and says the cheesiest line ever. They're like, so tell us about this girl, which seems weird because they know he's in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
But
But they all don't like Blair.
they
I
all
mean,
don't.
they think she's hot, but like,
Right.
yeah.
Because at one point they're like, what's she like? And then one of the firefighter people jumps in and he's like, but more importantly, what does she look like?
Yeah.
And then the other guy playing cards is
Dude,
like,
bro.
come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, Zach lists a bunch of things about her. She's kind. She's blah, blah, blah. And then he goes,
Wicked smart.
yeah. And then he goes, and she's pretty, but she doesn't even know it. And I'm like, ugh. So what? You're going to be the one who makes her realize how beautiful she actually is?
Oh, I hate that line.
Yeah. Like, when do we ever get a hint that she doesn't realize she's attractive? We know that she wants to focus on school, but she's never once said like, guys don't like me.
Yeah, or like I'm not pretty enough. Like
Yeah.
she's never said those words. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if they had like 15 different people writing this script and they just all had different ideas and they're like, just dump
Put
them
it
all.
all.
They end up together in the end, then fine, just dump them all in.
That seems to be like Hallmark's like MO though, right?
Yes.
Just like,
As long as it's a happy ending, we can throw whatever shit we want into the
exactly.
My next note, maybe you can help me out with this because I can't remember the context. I have Glamour Puss written down as my next note. Was that the name of something? A store?
I have no idea.
I remember it being on a billboard somewhere in this movie, Glamour Puss. And I was like,
I missed that. I have no idea what that is.
All right. Maybe that's just my own personal note of some kind. Maybe. We get a Santa appearance. Again, looking for charity. That's got to be 3 movies in a row where Santa's been out on the road looking for charity.
But we also get a Mrs. Claus appearance.
You're right.
Santa's with Mrs. Claus, and I was ecstatic. Oh, we see them because Mary Lee gets fired on her birthday. Because Blair makes her get fired. Yeah. Blair wants to get rid of Ambrose, so she makes Zach take the cat down to her dad's store to get rid of this cat.
Yes.
And he's going along with it because I guess he's got no balls.
Yep.
Don't know. Like he doesn't really care about this woman. He's made it very clear he doesn't really care that much about Blair, and yet he's going to go ahead and get rid of this cat. I guess he's just kind of thinking he didn't really want the cat in the first place. Okay, this cat should be with someone who's actually going to be home. You take this cat to work with you. What's the problem here? Who takes okay, whatever. Yeah, so she gives like her last like couple of bucks or whatever to Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Yep.
Which I thought for sure was going to come up again at some point.
Now didn't she get fired just because she was being quote unquote rude?
Yep. Yeah. She's the best employee in the store.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yep. But Blair's dad is like, what, scared of his daughter?
But
So
he
he's like, I guess I better fire my best employee. He looks run down and
he
tired.
does.
He does not look like he's well at all.
But it seems like if you own a local store, you'd want the best employees, and you can't go firing people on the whim of your crazy daughter.
In a Hallmark movie, you can,
I guess.
if it's important to the plot.
I guess Hallmark's gonna Hallmark.
Yeah.
So is it at this point where he breaks up with Blair?
No, it's at this point where he starts to wait. Does he? No, he breaks up with Blair a little bit later.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the part where he's starting to hunt down Mary Lee because he feels bad. He finds out. Wait, is that when he breaks up with her?
My next note is about her dress.
Yeah, that's a good part.
Yeah.
uh
He looks like a smoke show in that dress, by the way. I'm sorry to totally be like piggy about it, but Jesus Christ. And that when she's wears that black dress.
yeah.
Yeah. She looks incredible in that dress. I said smoke show.
It's a good dress.
It's
a good dress. I was focused more on Brandon Routh.
Yeah.
Which is weird because normally I do give the men and the women like 50-50 mostly attention. No, it was just all about him. That was a good dress though. It did fit her good.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I was impressed with like, because it's like an exaggerated sweetheart neckline, so it's got more like points rather than the heart. So it's but then it's got this like lace overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did good stuff for her. Yeah.
And she walks out of the dressing room and they play that music like she's had a transformation. Like it's that sparkly music where you're like seeing her for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, she obviously says she can't afford the dress, and the sister says she'll buy it for her. And then, like a crazy person, she wears the dress home.
Her puffy jacket is gone. Her outfit is gone. She just has her purse and this dress. And yeah, like a crazy person. I've never worn a dress home like that.
Well, but wait, are you being facetious when you say her puffy jacket and her outfit is gone? Did she had an outfit on before she went into that store, right?
Yeah, and then when she gets out of the car, nothing. She just has her purse and she's wearing that dress.
That's right.
No shopping bag to be like, that's where my outfit was. No.
Yes. And yeah. Well, because they have to create an awkward situation, right? Where they're driving home and how did she end up at Brandon Routh's house?
I remember this now. Okay, so yes, he breaks up with Blair because he gets home and Blair is there and he's like, where's the cat? And immediately I was like, murder this bitch. She got rid of the cat.
Yes.
Like as a cat mom, I had such a fucking panic attack. Like, you do not understand the level of murder that would be in my brain if you hurt my cats or like put them out. Oh my God, like I'm agitated just thinking about it. So yeah, he dumps her like right then and there.
Yep.
But also Ambrose is missing, which is like,
is this also the same scene where she gets takeout from an Italian restaurant and cooks it in pans on a stove that's not turned on?
Yes. She tries to act like she cooked food, but she got takeout and then tried to just like plate it up real nice. Like, oh, I cooked for you. He's like, I haven't even connected the stove yet.
Did she not realize the stove was off?
She didn't even try. Because she was just plating this food. Yeah.
Oh, I
thought I haven't
hooked in pots and stuff, didn't she?
Oh, I don't know. But he was like, I haven't even hooked up the stove. So I mean, she's an idiot. So then Marilee's sister is like, oh, let's go to the firehouse so you can show off your dress to your boyfriend because she thinks she's dating Zachary. And she's like, no, I'll go in and I'll get him to drive me home and you could just, I'll see you. Right. Bye. So sister's like, okay, weirdo. And then Marilee starts to like she fakes out that she's going to go into the firehouse and then immediately starts walking like she's just going to walk home. But that's when she finds Ambrose.
Yes.
So then she brings him to the fire department.
Brings him to the yes, and she walks in
Right.
that dress. Yeah, because
Yeah.
she goes when they're in the car. The sister wants to walk up to the house with her, and she goes, "No, no, 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 no," because he'll want to grab me
Yeah.
and kiss me all over.
And I just don't want that in front of my sister.
Yes, yes. So yeah, she walks to the firehouse and she gets honked at and catcalled, and she makes it to the firehouse and drops off the cat. And at this point, do they get together?
He wants to take her to dinner to
Oh,
apologize.
right. And they
For,
eat. Is this where they eat at the taco truck or whatever?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. So she's like, well, only if I can take you to my favorite place. And he's so used to Blair making him like dress up and go to these
Mm-hmm.
fancy places. So his instantly like, oh, should I go home and change? Whatever. She's like, you're good. Like,
Yes.
you're fine. So they go to this taco truck. It's the best. Because Santa is in line at the taco truck.
Yes, I know. His second appearance in the movie.
I love it so much.
And so I have down that they're talking about what they wanted to be when they grew up. And I thought it
Yeah.
was very convenient that they both knew exactly what they wanted to be when they were children. And they ended up being that thing.
I think it's indicative of privilege that you could then follow whatever you wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Because like I really wanted to go into dance when I was a kid, but like my parents weren't going to pay for dance
Oh,
lessons,
sure.
you know. And I feel like that's people take what a kid wants to do in life with like, yeah, okay, you want to be an astronaut, sure, instead of being like, okay, let's see if you really want to do that and like get you more interested in it.
Mm.
Or like feed your passion because clearly you're interested, so why not get you more information about how to be an astronaut or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I feel parents are just like, yeah, okay kid, okay, you want to do whatever, all right, instead of being like, okay, here, follow that.
Sure.
So I
Well,
think
some
it's
of that
just
stuff
indicative
is
of
so expensive to get kids involved in.
right, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
denying that, but I think
Yeah.
that's indicative of privilege.
Yeah.
Right, so they clearly both came from backgrounds where they were able to do that,
And
just
his
follow a
story,
pursuit.
yeah, for sure. What was it? She found a baby bird in a tree or something and nursed it
uh
back to health.
yeah, I think that's what it was, yeah.
And he had a firefighter crash through his window and save him from a burning house.
I love that story.
And
It
the
was so
firefighter was the chief, right?
yes, we later
Yeah.
on find out that it was the chief, like his fire chief, who has been like, you know, giving him good advice and like
Yes.
talking to him and stuff. And like we later on find out that he's the one who like crashed in and saved his life as a kid. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, such a cute, wholesome moment.
Yeah, that was a cool little, I mean, I guess
Yeah,
not a twist, but just a cool little moment. I was on
yeah,
board with that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Usually like the twists are a little too convenient or a little too silly. And I was
yeah,
like, oh, that was a well played. Well
yeah.
played.
This one, it caught me off guard and it gave me a little happiness. And I was like, oh, good job, Hallmark.
Um, so we get some other stuff here as their relationship builds. And at this point, I really felt like the movie was starting to hit mud. Like I was like, Jesus Christ, get this.
Yeah,
Like because now it's like
it really slowed down.
we got the courting stuff and then they got together and now it's like we're watching their relationship build. And I'm like, this is like a mini series. Like just keep it going, please. So he
Yeah,
gets her out of her eviction. She's going to get evicted from her apartment and he pulls some fire code shit on
yeah.
a landlord.
Well, he doesn't get her out of the eviction, but he does make the landlord's life hell
Yeah.
as retribution, which is I liked. I did like that.
Yeah. He pulls open his little firefighter badge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So, of course, as per Hallmark, right? As soon as they make a commitment to each other that they are in a relationship, there comes the commitment fear.
Wow, you jumped a little bit fast though.
Oh, did I? What scenes did I miss?
Um, I don't know. I guess it's just a bunch of like, oh no, it is. Okay. No,
Because this is they move in,
commitment
right?
panic.
She
So yeah,
jumps in.
this house that he's like fixing up to flip is there's a separate like apartment in the attic,
Right.
like right, a small little like apartment and with its own entrance and whatever. And so he's like, well, you could just like come and stay here. And she's trying to be like, no, 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 like that's no, like this is awkward.
Yeah.
Right? Because how could that not be awkward? um and I just want to point out too, like she can't go stay with her sister because her sister's got like four dogs, and four dogs and her cat would be a
Mm-hmm.
bad mix. Have you ever had to introduce two cats to each other? It is
No.
an entire fucking process. It can last a year getting two cats to cohabitate with each other. It is it is not easy. It can be easy. You
Yeah.
could get lucky and have two cats who are like totally chill with each other. But if you have a, I mean, and maybe I guess because Queenie is entering into a new territory and Ambrose is not a is not very territorial. I guess that's what made it work. But it's such a gamble. Like you don't know if you introduce these two cats together, they might like immediately hate each other. And then it's like you stress on the cats, and then that can cause problems with their eating and their health. Like it can actually physically cause problems with them. So like I don't know if I would take that gamble of like introducing my cat to another cat. But like these two, they just
Well,
have the cats like cohabitate like that, like easy peasy.
I mean,
Man.
yeah. Well, in Hallmark verse though,
Oh
those two
yeah.
cats are a symbol of the love that those two characters share. So they are going to have to get along, because them immediately getting along is plus
Good
Hallmark's not going to
point.
deal with Hallmark's not doing scientific research on cats cohabitating. There's like, well, the two leads love each other, so their cats have to love each other. And if they didn't
Good
love each
point.
other, those cats, then that would be a whole separate movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
I don't know.
be
I don't know what that
yeah.
movie would be called, but if it was like two people and their pets didn't get along, I wonder what it could be called.
I don't know, but it would definitely be a symbol. Yeah, that would definitely be like a trope to like symbol to the audience that like these two
Yeah.
people aren't meant to be with each other because their pets don't like each other. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Yeah. I was taking it
So
too literal. I was just like thrown. I'm like, I would rather trust like my cat living with me in a house with like dogs than like trying to like introduce. I mean, oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I because I've had problems with one of my cats not liking any other cats. So like I'm like, oh man, like this is an issue.
oh,
This would
okay.
be an issue with me.
Yeah, no, not for Zach and Mary Lee. No,
Nope.
Queenie and Ambrose are no issues whatsoever.
Yep. Yep.
Smooth sailing, as is par for the course in most of these Hallmark
Yep.
movies.
I have the uh-oh commitment panic as a note. So yeah, you're right. There the commitment panic comes in
Oh,
pretty
okay.
quickly. So they're cohabitating, the roommates basically.
Yeah. And they're spackling up walls and they're
Yeah.
fixing up stuff and they're bumping each other in the road when they go jogging together.
Yeah.
And they're reading a newspaper together and pointing at articles and shit and going,
Laughing.
oh,
You
look,
know, like you do.
that's like shit you do on stage, when if you're like in the background and you can't think of what else to do, you just do that like that shit.
Yeah.
But that's what they were doing. That was their little
Oh yeah.
montage of getting to know
Mm-hmm.
each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get to know each other, yeah, he has the uh-oh commitment. Now, did you have a specific scene that was the uh-oh commitment moment?
I didn't write down. I think I thought
Uh,
I would remember. I do remember she was saying something about like inviting him to a party or something,
yes.
and he just like looked away. He was like,
What
okay. Uh,
party, huh?
uh.
Uh,
He was
he says he
freaking out.
can't, right? He can't because he's like, you should know, like, I work every Christmas and every Christmas Eve. So
Yeah, yeah.
can't
He's
really
like,
come to the
I'm
party.
no, I can't go to the party. I'm working. Awkwardly, he says
Yes.
before leaving.
And that's when he has the conversation with the chief, right? Shortly after that, when the chief tells him, like, hey, cut the shit.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so he says he can't make the party. So she's getting weird vibes from him.
Yep.
And then she goes to the party. And lo and behold, she's there talking to the sister, feeling really awkward and uncomfortable. And she turns, and there he is, putting his arm around a girl in a red dress and giving her a smooch.
Yep.
And instead of confronting him,
Yeah.
all these Hallmark characters just, they see something and they do the, what?
What?
No, no. and they just turn and run away, and she bumps
Yeah.
into a few people, and out she goes.
Yep.
And
I have to say this was the one time where it actually felt like relatable. Um because it
oh
was
yeah, in what
just
sense?
because this
Yes,
is just a guy you're not really dating him.
that's
You're
true.
not seeing him. You just have a super crush on him and you're living with him. So like that's not making anything easy, and you're questioning everything because she's got this whole thing where she doesn't want to get in a relationship before she finishes getting her degree and stuff. And so she's falling for this guy. You know, they're living with each other, like, and they kind of like each other, so
Yeah.
it's, you know. And then she knows he's lying about something because he's acting weird when she asks him
Mm-hmm.
to the party, and he's getting all like commitment freak panic. And so when she goes to this party and sees him there with someone else,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that kind of can be a gut-wrenching moment because you thought you were close to this person and they didn't tell you anything, and you
Mm.
thought maybe things were happening. Like it's like a big slap in the face of like, I imagined everything with this person, fuck
That's
me,
true.
you
That's
know.
true. So maybe the shock of that moment kept her from
Yeah.
confronting him.
And she
He-
didn't really want to be at this party anyway, so she's not gonna
Right.
like cause a scene. She's just like, oh, fuck, like no, and just
Yeah.
walk out. Like I've definitely had a moment. I've had moments like that where it's like you realize you realize everything that you thought was happening isn't happening.
Right. And you sort of internally accept defeat, and you like bringing
Yeah,
anything up would only humiliate me. So I'm not
right.
going to do that.
Yep. I'm not going to admit to my feelings. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to hide it all. I'm going to shove
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out of this situation while the getting's good,
Yeah.
which is what she does.
She does. Now, did we get a reveal of who that woman was before the scene happened? Or did we only find
No,
that out later?
we
Because,
find that out later, which
okay,
I felt was a little weak.
I thought so too. Yeah. I
Yeah.
also, I was like, okay, is it his sister? Is it the chief's wife? Is it like, but that's who it is. That does end up being, right? The chief's wife?
It's the mayor's
Oh, the
wife,
mayor's wife. That's right.
which like,
Um, yeah. It's like she finally confronts him because she's not returning his calls.
yeah,
And he's like, Ambrose misses. Oh, no, he comes home and she's writing him a note, which
yeah,
this was super convenient. And she's like, I found a job in a new place to live. I'm like, since last night? How did she
yeah.
find a job in a new place to live overnight
I
on
think she
Christmas?
I think she lied about that because she
Oh,
just went to go stay with her friend.
oh,
So
right. Oh, you're right.
I think her friend, she just panicked and called her friend. It was like, I need to, like, I have to come stay with you. Like shit just went down. Like I got to come with you, stay with
Right.
you.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
So,
That's fair. Touche,
yeah.
Hallmark. Point, Hallmark.
We
That
got
logic
a
checks out.
Folgers placement there too.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Her friend's making her
Sneaky
coffee to
Hallmark.
like, as she's like crying with her friend. And which I liked that they were drinking coffee and not like eating ice cream
Sure.
stereotypically, so yeah, her friend was taking Folgers out of the cabinet. It was very good product placement. It was better than that other one where we just had the zoom in on the
Oh,
Folgers
right.
on the sideboard.
Where the camera just shifted over and zoomed in.
It was
Folgers.
terrible. Folgers. It's in this movie. Yeah.
um, and then they get reunited because Ambrose is scratching at a picture on the newspaper of a charity event that she's going to be a part of, right? Or it's a
Yeah.
dog. It's a dog
Yeah.
fundraiser
It's
or a
like
dog.
it's an adoption event on Christmas Day in the park. Who the
Yeah.
whatever.
Ambrose happens to jump up and just scratches at this, and he then,
Hmm.
you know, Zach looks at it and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's where she'd be."
Yeah.
So he goes and sees her, and he
Yep.
explains the whole thing, and she's like, "Oh, that seems reasonable." And then they're together.
Where does the mistletoe moment come in?
Oh, it happens right when, um, like right as they start to get together.
Why
So
is she
yeah,
back at the house?
what?
Why is she back at the house?
No, this was before. The mistletoe moment happened before the breakup.
But
I'm pretty sure because once they kiss, then he starts getting all weird about the commitment, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Because there were a couple moments where he was panicking.
Yeah, which, I mean, kissing someone is not it doesn't open the floodgates to commitment.
No, he sure thinks it does. So
Yeah,
can we talk about this mistletoe moment though?
sure.
Oh my gosh. So her friend convinces her that there's the mistletoe test, right?
Oh,
Where
right, the mistletoe test. Yes, this is
hang
a
the
whole thing.
mistletoe, and if he kisses you under the cheek, like if he kisses you on the cheek, then he just wants to be friends and you'll know. But if he kisses you on the lips, like he definitely wants something more, and then you'll know. And I'm like, I think it depends on the kiss on the lips, right? Because like you can give
Sure.
a friendly peck.
Yes.
Mm. So she hangs the mistletoe and then tries to act all nonchalant underneath it. He comes in, passes right under it, doesn't even see it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, well then I guess we'll see you later then. I'm
Yeah.
leaving. Cause she's like, ugh, devastated. And he's like, he comes back in the room like, wait, why? Where are you going?
Yeah.
And then he notices the mistletoe. He's very subtly looks at the mistletoe and then looks back at her. So now he notices it. And she's like, yeah, sure, I could, he's like, well, but I thought maybe you could help me like do this repair in the kitchen room. She's like, okay, yeah, sure, I can do that. But she's like so not happy. So he leaves. She goes to take down the mistletoe. He comes like right back in the room and just like with determination walking up to her. She turns around and he just lays a kiss on her. And oh my fucking God, I had to watch it again because it was so hot. It wasn't as hot as it could have been. It could
No,
have
not
been way hotter,
sure
but
in a
it was
Hallmark movie.
definitely
Yeah.
like, listen, that is a kiss. That is a moment where you just like, oh, that was good. For Hallmark movie, good job.
I guess it didn't leave the same impression because I remembered the Hallmark moment. I remembered the mistletoe moment, or the mistletoe test, and I remembered the kiss, but I don't remember it being this big
No, because it
thing.
could have been better. It could have been a
Oh, maybe,
lot
yeah.
better. It's just I've definitely had those moments where someone has like come up and just like planted one on you, and it's so good. So it was like evoking like memories, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was definitely. And then also like his Brandon Ruth,
Brandon Routh.
like, oh yes, please.
Is he?
But he definitely has a panic moment at that point because I do have underneath it. He's a wreck. He's panicking,
Yep.
and then it's the party, and then she moves out. Right. Okay.
Right. Right. So that's it. That's the end of the movie, is it not?
Yeah. He takes the
Oh, he does the
fire truck to the park.
and he does the what is it? The snow leopard
A
thing
mountain lion.
mountain lion thing,
Mountain lion thing.
which was
They had
a conversation about how mountain lions like attract mates or whatever, and he has to get up
yeah.
to the highest point. So he brings her up onto the fire truck and gives her a kiss, and
Yeah. And then it ends.
And it ends. That's it.
Quickly. It ended quickly.
That's it. Which
Yeah.
it just felt like anticlimactic because it was already revealed that they liked each other and they wanted to be together. It was just a little misunderstanding. You know what I mean? There wasn't like a pursuit the entire movie. But
Yeah, no.
anyhow, shall we score this thing?
I have like 2 more notes.
Yeah, go for it.
Just that I loved the fire chief.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was he was a great character. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I also liked how they had you'll find someone and you'll settle and that you'll want to settle down with. Like you'll find someone, you'll settle down, it'll happen, blah blah blah. Yep. I enjoyed that conversation was towards the man.
Oh yeah.
This was a conversation that happened at a guy and not at a woman. You know, it wasn't like this girl was like, I'm never going to find anyone. And they're like, you'll find someone, you'll settle down. She's like, no, I'm going to focus on my career. And they're like, no, you'll settle down. I liked that it was happening with the guy.
Yeah, you don't see that too often in these.
No, you don't. And it was quite refreshing. So those are my last 2 notes.
Cool. All right. So our very super scientific scorecard, and my camera's a little grainy because I have my personal computer, not my very souped up work. but
Okay.
our very, very scientific scorecard here.
Yeah, I'll show mine then. Very scientific.
Oh, okay. I think, well, all right. So we've got oh, shoot. I just saw what you gave a point for, and now I realize I should have too.
Aha.
Male lead wears a zip-up sweater. No, I'm adding a point to the second one. Character outside in snow with inadequate clothing. Did you give a point for the dress?
I did, yeah.
Ah,
She's
yeah.
outside in her, it's the whole point where she's cold in her dress and he gives her his firefighter jacket
Yes.
and then walks her home. And then the next day he sweetly comes and finds her after her final and is like, how'd you do on the test?
Yeah.
Also, I do need my coat back,
Yes.
but let me buy you a cup of coffee. So,
all right.
yeah.
No heart to heart on a porch.
No.
No set in a boardroom.
Mm-mm.
None of the big three.
Nope.
The three horsewomen of the apocalypse, Winnie Cooper, Lacey Chabert, and DJ Tanner. None of them.
Yeah, no.
And Christmas is in the title.
Yep.
So that's a 2-pointer.
Yep.
Title of the movie describes the profession. I did not give the points for this. I thought the title was lame, and it did not really connect with anything other than the presence of a cat.
Yeah, the 9 lives. I mean, why bother having a number in the title, like you say, right? Like, why bother?
Yeah.
To do nothing with it.
Male or female lead's parents died. Yes, her parents are dead, right?
Yep.
Both of them died.
Both of them died in a car accident.
Oh, in a car accident. Okay.
Yeah, tragic.
Yes. A family business is at stake. No. I gave double points for this. Main character's name is linked to Christmas because her name is fucking Mara Lee.
I did not, because I did not catch that.
Yeah. I do not know anyone on earth whose name is Mara Lee. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't met a Mary.
Yeah, I think you just.
Lee.
Yeah, I think you just haven't met a Mary Lee yet. Because I think
it's not Mary Lee. It's Merri.
Yeah. No, I think I've known a Mary Lee.
Oh, okay.
Well, not personally, but like through work and stuff, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not very common. That's a rare name.
Female lead has to choose between her fiance and a man she literally just met. Nope. Male or female leads major flaws. They don't do Christmas. Nope. They both actually do Christmas.
Yeah.
And Christmas is not in the title of the movie, obviously. No. So that got 6 points for me. Santa appears. He sure does.
He does. And Mrs. Claus appears, so I gave it double points.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Santa appears like 4 or 5 times in this movie.
Yeah, it's got the charity thing. He's dressed in a Santa coat at one point.
Yeah.
It's Santa in the taco line.
Uh-huh.
You're right.
And twice on the street. We see them twice.
Twice on the street.
Yeah.
Main characters kiss in the snow. Nope. A sexy food fight happens between the two whilst baking or decorating cookies. You know, I gave this points not because of the baking stuff, but they were doing their spackle and their painting and their tiling and there were little like jabs between the two of them. But now I'm thinking I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't give it for that.
No snowball fight. And surprisingly, no supernatural element folded in, which was a bummer.
No, I gave it half points. I gave it 1.5.
Oh, okay.
Just because there were a couple of times where Ambrose kind of intervened in a way.
Okay.
One was definitely the newspaper where he's scratching at it to like remind him of where Mara Lee is. And there was another point earlier on, and I thought for sure that would be a bigger part of it, you know, where Ambrose is the one who's taking charge and like bringing these two people together.
Yeah.
Didn't really pan out that way. No. So that's why I didn't give it full points, but I felt like they were hinting at it maybe. So half points.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then characters do not sing a Christmas song.
No, they don't. So what was your title or total?
My total was only 14 points.
Oh.
Very low.
I got 11.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, real low.
I think this may be the lowest one we've ever scored. Or no, has anyone scored single digits? I don't know. I don't think so. I think this might be one of the 11.5 is low.
I have to put together a chart because I need to know this data. I'll go through our notes. So how many sugar plums do you give it?
Oh, it was fine enough. I just because it was a very boring movie, I'm going to give it 2.5.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I'm
Just
giving
because
it 4.
it bored the shit out of me. But it was the acting was fine for the most
Yeah,
part. Dialogue was fine for the most part. The no events were like terribly contrived. But in
right.
terms of like, it felt like a marathon to watch. I gotta give it
Yeah.
2.5. And you're giving it 4.
I'm giving it 4. Yeah. I like Cats and I like Brendan Routh, and I
Yeah,
think
there you
that's
go. I was
really
gonna
what
say,
saves it.
are you grading this
And
on
it
the
was
Brandon Routh curve?
probably I
Yeah.
am biased. um I don't know, it was enjoyable enough and it was likable enough, and yeah, I think it was cute. I think I would watch it again.
Fair enough.
I know, which is high praise.
You think you'll catch things you didn't see the first time?
No,
No.
no, I'll just be focusing more on Brendan Ruth.
Oh, fair enough. You'll catch parts of
I'll try to
Brandon
look for
Routh.
those Superman moments.
There you go. Um,
Do you think this is naughty or nice?
oh, it's nice. This is a totally harmless
Absolutely.
movie,
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely. There's
nothing so
nothing wrong.
offensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't get frustrated watching this movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Just at one
uh,
point you feel a bit like it's a slog at
yes,
one point.
that's it. I just felt
Yeah.
like it was long, but otherwise it was fine. So
Mm.
yeah, it's nice.
And would you give it as a gift?
Um, for someone who liked romantic comedies, I would actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I would recommend this. I would give it as a gift. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I mean, why not, right? It was cute, it was harmless.
yeah,
There wasn't any conflicting weird morals. There wasn't anything frustrating, like you said. It's
yeah, yeah. It was a
totally
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 safe,
nice.
paint by numbers, decently acted movie.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, that brings the 9 lives of Christmas to a close.
Mm-hmm.
So until next time, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.